I certainly hope they decide to hold all future society events aboard the
Hello.
Starfighter.
You here for the charity? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sin. But something tells me you're not really here to... Dombrowski, he's the exec holding court over in the VIP area of the ballroom. Yeah, sorry, I work for UC Security, not Galbank. I don't really know him personally. You mean specifically? We monitor all of the major megacorp financials. You're asking a lot of strange questions. Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong.
We both know exactly who you are.
Worried? Why should I? Anything you try to report will boil down to your word. And since I work for UC Security...
Oh, hello. Have you
So
checked
what
the
brings you aboard?
canopies?
An open bar would have been nice, but Trident scouting is for every friend.
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up and I guarantee that. Oh, absolutely. He's up the ladder. No, it certainly didn't. There's clearly something going on between Vera, Swiss, and Dombrowski. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera. Maybe. But if something goes wrong, and he's able to raise an alarm, with all of these wealthy patrons aboard. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support. Manipulate a few controls, and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a... This is one of Trident's premier Starline, including triple redundancy. Luckily for us, it will still trip an emergency and everyone will have to...
Your lack of commitment does not exactly fill me with confidence.
Don't worry, it'll be as easy as it was mingling with the guests at the party. Just one more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm... Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Trident... On the surface, he's an upstanding citizen of the United Colonies, pretty high up in... Underneath, he's a greedy piece of garbage. Given the chance, he'd backstab you for... Come to think of it, if he wasn't such a petty tyrant... All passengers are instructed to immediately report to their cabins. That way, we keep the halls clear and avoid a panic. Fortunately for us, all of the passenger cabin doors will automatically unlock. This is normally to ensure the crew can check cabins quickly and without interference. But in our case, it's like having an all-access pass. There's access to the crew section that you can reach through the Starview ballroom. Chief Sundin should be there, wasting time at the station as usual. Once you're past Sundin, just look for the room marked Environment. Go do something useful, okay?
Hello. Are you a member of the Society?
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
This is well maintained, to be sure, but obviously the credits have all been spent on the areas the guests actually see.
Hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rockov's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse, though, right? Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner-class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong, the quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. Oh, sorry, that area's off limits. No exceptions. No, sorry, I'm afraid it's impossible. Trident regulations strictly prohibit anyone from entering the life support area without a valid reason. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, it's just that I could lose my job, you know? Oh, really? Well, that changes things quite a bit. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? So, I have a lot of things to do. Honestly, he's a seasoned ship captain. He told me he was a long hauler for years, and the experience shows. Only thing is, he's always talking about trade deals and plans for get-rich-quick schemes. It's all the guy ever thinks about. Why he decided to be a Starliner captain, I'll never know. It's almost like he craves being around money. Tell you what, though, for someone that loves credit so much, he sure doesn't mind gambling them when we play cards. Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this thing. Don't get me wrong. Feel free to look around, but don't mess with any of the controls.
Emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Much nicer in here now. Plenty of room.
The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me. Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dombrowski. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt like this. You're working for Ikande's little anti-pirating outfit?
May I have your attention,
And even if I
please?
suddenly decided to stay loyal to the OUC, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over evidence?
And remain there until you receive further instructions.
Claudia said that. That means my money's already gone. And Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'd love to see the bastard fry. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I could end up in jail. Oh, I've got everything you're gonna need. This is a one-stop shop for you. We're talking a slate loaded with dates, account numbers, ID scans, even an audio recording. It was my little insurance policy in case the shit hit the fan. There's a solid enough trail here to send Dombrowski straight to jail. Dombrowski had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system. I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had. At least I walk away with something.
May I have your
Here,
attention, please?
with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to... Just remember that you promised to leave me
Report
out.
to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly... On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends. That's... if you leave him alive, of course. I wasn't lying when I said I didn't know anything about your undercover work, if that's what you're trying to... All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be... I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Ikande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. Wait a moment. Are you telling me that this scheme is getting so out of hand? That's all I need right now. Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean... How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this... No. You can leave me out of your merry little band of... You better tell Dombrowski to run, because if you don't kill him, I will.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please?
Well.
The captain has declared
I'm
a
uncertain what you
ship-wide
hope to
emergency.
accomplish here, but it appears we
Please
should...
report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
You don't actually believe that I'd venture into such precarious criminal territory with them. I'm uncertain why you've become entangled in this spider. Excellent. So, first, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something. I see. That certainly places a damper on our negotiations. Perhaps in blunt terms, You have compromising materials about... I assume that's what you've been angling for?
Will there be much more of this? My head...
Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question. The last thing I'd want to do. Obviously, that wouldn't be my prep. Though, Larry Dombrowski will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials becomes ludicrous.
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Quite a shame that you need to resort to blackmail to arrive. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to... Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I wish you hadn't blown away the gambling debt that Saldin owed me. But hey, you got the job done. You must be joking. After this little stunt I helped you pull, I'm certain Trident's going to rip up my captain's contract. I've got nowhere else to go, so I'm fully expecting that you'll put in a good word for me with Delgado. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner?
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I usually have a nose for these things. Whatever the case may be, it's apparently worth... Ah, so he told you to keep it from me. I wouldn't want you to risk your position with the fleet like I did, so I'll just... Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet. I owe you one, Dover. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to... Don't worry. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time...
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is just a minor malfunction or a drill.
Our security team would appreciate if you please shelter yourself.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.